In this video, we will tell you how to prepare the substrate and make a TFS 200 CQ floor, and TFS 500 PUC CQ floor, a thin layer painted floor covered with fire-dried quartz. Work and implementation of a polymer floor on your own should begin with the assessment of the substrate on which the floor is to be made. For the purposes of this video, we will divide the substrates into three categories. Category 1. Very good substrate, smooth, without losses, requiring only manual grinding and priming. Category 2. Good substrate with few cavities, requiring manual grinding, local filling and priming. Category 3. The substrate is damaged with numerous losses, cracks, uneven. Requires removal of detached elements, manual or mechanical sanding, cutting and filling cracks, filling cavities as well as putty priming. Regardless of the type of surface, each of them must be dry and free from contamination before we start work. For the purposes of this video, we will demonstrate the construction of a Category 3 floor. The next step is to select the flooring material, and calculate the amount of materials needed to complete the planned floor area. As a rule, the amount of materials should be calculated in accordance with the technical sheet of the system, and then add 10%. Once the substrate has been assessed, the system has been selected and the amount of material has been calculated, the flooring can be started. Note: before starting work, always pay attention to the conditions under which flooring work may be carried out. As we have already said, in this video we demonstrate the execution of a floor on a worn, uneven, cavity and cracked substrate. In such a case, work should begin with the removal of loose, detached elements of the substrate. Then score any cracks with a diamond disc. Then, the substrate should be ground with a concrete abrasive stone. After grinding, the whole thing should be thoroughly vacuumed, remembering to use a narrow suction nozzle to clean the cut slits. The next step is to prepare the compound for filling losses and cut cracks. To prepare the putty, use the TechniArt 400 RST, and fire-dried quartz sand with a grain size from 0.1 to 0.4 mm. Start the preparation of the joint compound by mixing component A with component B. Then add quartz sand and mix thoroughly. Sand should be added to the resin until a putty consistency is obtained. The prepared mass should be carefully filled in the cut slots. And then all cavities should be smoothed out evenly. Before commencing the priming operations, carefully protect all elements of the room that could be contaminated with resin by veneering. Remember that bonded resin is very difficult to remove. We start the preparation of the primer by weighing the appropriate amount of component A and component B of the TechniArt 400 RST material, remembering to prepare only the amount of material that we will be able to use in a short time from mixing. Epoxy and polyurethane resins after mixing should be immediately spread on the floor surface, because left in a bucket, they bind in a short time and emit high temperature. To the previously mixed Techniplast 400 RSD ingredients, add quartz sand with granulation, from 0.1 to 0.4 mm, until the consistency of an easily pourable mass is obtained. Most often it is in a weight proportion of about 1:1 ratio. And it depends, as before, on the ambient temperature in such a way that the colder the less sand in the mixture. The prepared mass should be evenly spread with a stainless steel trowel. Priming of category 1 and 2 substrate can be done by applying the resin without the addition of quartz sand using a resin roller. However, it should be remembered that the best effect is obtained with a putty primer. The primed surface should be left to set for about 12 to 24 hours. Now you should start preparing the materials for the first layer of the floor. You should start with measuring the surface of the working area, and then calculating the required amount of material. Of course, using the technical sheet of the system and remembering the principle of adding 10%. In our case, they are 3 square meters. When measuring flooring materials, the volumetric method should not be used because it is not very accurate. The weight method is appropriate. Rule: resins intended for use should have a temperature of minimum 15 degrees Celsius. Component A should be carefully weighed, then component B should be weighed, in accordance with the proportion given on the package. Mix with a low-speed mixer, for about 2 minutes. In order to avoid excessive aeration of the material, it is recommended to use a stirrer with a speed of about 300 revolutions per minute. Pour the material into a clean container and mix again, for about 1 minute. Due to the occurring chemical reaction, the material should be applied immediately after mixing. Do not leave mixed material in the package. The Techniplast resin should be evenly spread on the previously planned working area and then rolled with a resin roller using the cross method, which guarantees even distribution of the material. After covering the entire planned surface, leave it for about 10 minutes, allowing the applied resin to spread evenly. Now proceed to cover the surface with colored quartz sand. Grain size grow 0.4 to 0.8 mm. It should be remembered that the surface after covering should be uniformly dry, free from stains from seeping resin. In the event of places not saturated with sand, gently replenish the missing sand using spiked shoes. After the floor is completely and evenly covered, leave it to bind the resin for about 12 to 24 hours, and then proceed to the application of the next layer of the floor. Before starting the application of the final layer of resin, the whole thing should be thoroughly swept and then, using a handmade abrasive stone, very lightly sanded. Sanding is intended to remove any poorly bonded grains of quartz sand and the final leveling of the surface. After sanding, the whole thing must be thoroughly vacuumed. The surface prepared in this way is suitable for applying the final floor layer. When laying the final layer, use the stainless steel trowel shown in the video. Spread the material evenly, applying slight pressure to the surface, and then roll it with a resin roller, remembering to use the cross-rolling method. Remember to thoroughly saturate the roller with resin before starting, because a dry roller will pull the resin from the floor, leaving visible traces. Provided that it is cured at a temperature between 20 and 25 degrees Celsius. The floor is suitable for light loads after about 24 hours and obtains full resistance after 7 days.